The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is one of the world's most enduring political struggles, but at its heart lies a critical human rights issue: the treatment of detainees. This documentary focuses on a fundamental matter of justice, administrative detention, and the erosion of due process violations measured against core international law, including the ICCPR, CAT, CRC, and the Fourth Geneva Convention. Israel's detention system is governed by domestic laws such as the Emergency Powers Detention Law of 1979 and is executed in the West Bank through specific military orders, notably Military Order 6051. These frameworks give military commanders sweeping powers.
International law exists even in war, and human rights do not disappear behind prison walls. Today, Palestinians are detained without charge or trial, a practice known as administrative detention, where individuals are imprisoned based on secret evidence that neither they nor their lawyers are allowed to see. Israel is legally bound by the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, known as the ICCPR, a global rule book that draws the line between justice and abuse. It sets clear limits on how far a power can go even inside prison walls. Article 7 sends a powerful message: no torture, no cruelty, and no inhuman treatment. Article 9 stands as a shield against arbitrary detention, demanding reasons, accountability, and a judge who must question every arrest. Article 14 reminds the world that justice is not secret, not silent, and not denied. It guarantees one thing above all, which is a fair trial, legal counsel, and a court that answers to the law and not power. But the law doesn't stop there, because Palestine is an occupied territory. International humanitarian law is also applied. The Fourth Geneva Convention protects civilians even during military conflict and occupation. Article 32 forbids torture, cruelty, and humiliation, as no one is above the law. Article 71 until 74, they guarantee your rights to legal defense, clear written charges, and the power to appeal. In short, when detention ignores due process and human dignity, it is not security anymore, but it is a violation of human rights.
I will critically analyze Israel's compliance with international humanitarian law and human rights law. The central issue is the protection of detainees' rights, which is fundamentally challenged by the use of administrative detention and a denial of due process. Incident of Salah Hamari, which is a powerful illustration of the use of administrative detention and a denial of due process by Israel. In 2022, Mr. Hamari, a French-Palestinian human rights lawyer, was placed under administrative detention. This is a measure that allows the military to detain individuals indefinitely without a charge or trial on secret security grounds. Mr. Hamari was detained in March 2022 and his administrative detention was extended multiple times, such as the 3-month extension order in June 2022. This practice directly undermines the right to due process, the right to a fair legal proceeding. In this case, the detention order was based on secret information that was withheld from him and his lawyer. This made it virtually impossible to mount an effective defense, as you cannot challenge evidence you are not allowed to see. Mr. Hammer's indefinite detention based on non-disclosed evidence highlight a clear breach of fundamental rights. It represents a form of arbitrary detention, failing to uphold the basic legal safeguards required by international law.
Is the conflict zone where law meets survival, the battleground is the cell, and the weapon is silence. This is the story of administrative detention in Israeli prisons, a practice that locks up Palestinians without charge, without trial, and based only on secret evidence, as I said. So the ultimate protest against this arbitrary power is the hunger strike. Activist Khadi Adnan became a symbol. His final strike, which lasts for 87 days, tragically ending in his death in 2023. His act and the strikes of countless others like Mahir al-Akras highlights the detainees' desperate and non-violent fight against a system which they cannot challenge. The Israeli High Court has generally upheld the legality of administrative detention, seeing it as a security necessity, but this stance creates a profound legal tension. Critics call it a system ripe for abuse. The UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, WGAD, has repeatedly found Israel's practice to be a violation of international human rights law. Under the Fourth Geneva Convention, detention must be exceptional and temporary. UN experts argue Israel's routine use exceeds all legal boundaries. Their call is clear: abolish the practice, charge the detainees, or release them immediately.
The scale of this practice is staggering. At any given moment, hundreds to thousands of Palestinians are held in administrative detention, often facing indefinite, successive renewals that can extend for years. The vast majority of detainees are Palestinian, including children and political activists. Our analysis reveals that Israel's use of administrative detention and its military court procedures fundamentally violate key provisions of both international human rights law and international humanitarian law. The systematic use of secret evidence, indefinite detention, and reports of ill treatment constitute clear breaches of ICCPR Articles 9 and 14 and the CAT. To restore justice and protect fundamental human rights, we recommend immediate legal reform and strict adherence to the due process standards demanded by the international legal framework.